Good evening. 2 teenagers are dead and 2 others in the hospital after an early morning interstate shooting. It happened on I-24 yesterday morning.
And advocates say the shooting highlights the need for outreach to at-risk youth. But as News Channel 5's Eric Hilt shows us, the pandemic has made those efforts more difficult.
Investigators walked along a nearly empty I-24 yesterday, piecing together details of an early morning interstate shooting that involved 4 teenagers. Police say a 16-year-old opened fire inside of a stolen truck using a stolen gun. The 16-year-old and a 14-year-old were taken to the hospital with gunshot wounds. 12-year-old Abdiwab Adan and 14-year-old Donquez Abernathy were killed.
When I heard about it, it was really tragic.
For Bishop Marcus Campbell, the story was all too familiar.
My heart dropped just to see young lives, taken again with this senseless gun violence.
For years, Campbell has been fighting youth violence from Mount Carmel Missionary Baptist Church.
Gang program been in existence for about 10 years where we have our walk-ins where parents will get in touch with us and say, hey, I think my child is going down the wrong path, and we start mentoring them.
But COVID-19 has made those efforts more difficult.
It was hard because we had to go virtual instead of having one-on-one with the students that we have in our gang class. And that's a total different feel. There's nothing like being there face-to-face, one-on-one.
And it's not just church programs going virtual. Campbell says outreach is made harder when schools are online too. Adon was a 7th grader at J.T. Moore Middle, Abernathy a freshman at Hillsborough High.
They at home, they got more time instead of being able to go to school, have to stay focused, stay on track.
Now Campbell hopes this tragic shooting can send a message to parents.
Parents just not being afraid and ashamed to reach out to different programs and organizations that are out here for kids.
In Nashville, Eric Hilt, News Channel 5.
Thank you, Eric. As Eric mentioned, both victims were students in Metro Nashville Public Schools. The district sent a statement reading, "Our hearts go out to the family, friends, students, and staff who are mourning the loss of these 2 young children to a senseless act of gun violence."